Hey there, it's Lacey J here to ask you to go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, buy yourself some merch, and most importantly, send us a message, the latter of which we'll reply to on our newly revamped weekly pre-shows, where we have as many fun segments as we do on the audio pod. There are current events with Christy, corrections and observations with Ben, and as always, questions with Derek. Plus, I have new fun facts and tell a terrible fucking joke every single week. Please join us, and please consider rating and reviewing us on your favorite app or recommending us to a friend who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Lost in My 40s, Season 3, our bonus episode, Theories and Questions. This time, we're talking about fan theories after Season 3, fun facts about our character rankings, including an aggregate, of course, over the 3 seasons. And then we're going to get a peek into Lost missing pieces, the webisodes that were released originally between seasons 3 and 4 of the show. And then, of course, we'll finish up with Derek's biggest questions and theories, if he has any, after he's seen half of the series. But first, how's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Great.
You weren't, guys. All right, listen, Derek, have you recovered from your first
So was it
flash?
the timing? Was it the timing, or was it what was it that time? You're disappointed with us.
No,
I
yeah,
can see.
elated enough.
It was the timing. It was the enthusiasm level. All of it. It was just bad. And I'm leaving it in so everyone knows what I go through. Derek.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Have you recovered from your first flash forward?
Yeah, that was crazy. That last episode or last 2 episodes with the flash forward, that was a new one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I said, I think at the end of last episode, it really helped to like re-solidify my love for the show when they changed it up. All right, one quick thing before we
I imagine there'll be more of them. So
more flash forwards. Oh yeah, season 4. There are. All right, listen, after seasons 1 and 2, we talked a lot about fan theories that were floating around at the time of release. Today, we're going to talk about some things that the show creators were saying after season 3. So by this point in the show, of course, the show writers and creators had heard a lot of the fan theories, and I don't know if that's what prompted this, but they came out and they put like a special episode out called Lost: The Answers, and confirmed a few things for the fans. So we're going to talk about that. But first, one more really hilarious theory that popped up after season 3 because of a little quip that Juliet made with Sawyer. He had asked her why they were like banging rocks and building a runway. And she said, for the aliens. Do you guys even remember when she made that comment?
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
So some fans decided that the truth about the show was that aliens actually crashed Oceanic Flight 815, placed all of the survivors in a zoo-like habitat, and are now just like playing with them. So obviously that's not what the show is.
I never heard that theory before. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I would like to think that an intelligence capable of crossing interstellar space would have better things to do with its time than fuck around with a bunch of humans on an island. But
I know, right?
that's just me being hopeful about
Maybe
First
like
Contact.
Kid aliens stole like one of the spaceships, and they're fucking with us just like we fuck with ants and stuff when we're kids.
Yep.
So Ben,
True.
I want to agree with you that an intelligence wouldn't have time to do something like that. But as someone who has been a long-standing player of The Sims, like that's what I like to do is create a world and then fuck with my Sims. So I think it could be possible. It was not the case in this, but. So, on May 17th, 2007, just before Through the Looking Glass was to air, show creators Damon Lindelof and Carlston Hughes appeared on a TV special called Lost: The Answers. And in it, they recapped the first 3 seasons while confirming and denying a few things. You can watch this on YouTube if you like, but I am going to tell you all the important details. All right. The first of which was that the plane was, in fact, brought down when the Swan's EMP fried the electronics due to Desmond's failure to enter the code in time. Although they very specifically left out that they did not confirm that the EMP is what caused the midair breakup of the plane, which I think we all kind of wondered about, right?
Yeah.
Well, an EMP won't do that. An EMP will fry electrical circuits and things like that. It's not going to have any real force on like a body like that. Like if the plane broke up, it's because the wind
went
or
too fast, or it's diving G-forces.
Yeah, exactly. G-forces or air pressure was too much, and it fucked the frame up.
Okay, so you mean that, like, if a plane is falling from the sky, it could break in half simply because of how fast it's moving?
Yes.
Out of the G-forces, if it's like going inverted or things like that, because that's happened in real life.
Typically what would happen is like something like that. If somebody was going to pull a maneuver that was going to fuck a plane up that hard, depending on the type of plane, it would actually probably fuck up the pilot first. But it's entirely possible for a plane to be diving or something like that, and then if somebody tries to pull up or something like that, it could just break the plane. I mean, they're made of aluminum and steel frames, so
they're not reinforced like stunt planes are.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, stunt planes are built in a different way, like so that they can be blown up, or
no? So that
they can pull these high G maneuvers without coming apart, like jet fighters, like our F-15s and everything. They can pull like 9 Gs and make you pass out.
But those like planes like F-15s or whatever the airframes can withstand way more than the pilots can.
Yep,
I see. Well, all right then. Thanks for fun facts about G-force with Ben and Derek.
We're talking about where the G spot.
Well, I do have a pilot's license, so I had to learn about this stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you have a pilot's license. That's right. We're gonna record like the show finale midair, right? I think we decided that in season 1. You're gonna take us on a plane ride, so we could do our record our episode or season 6 finale.
Isn't it when you
have technical difficulties doing that?
I imagine. We have enough sitting here on the ground, much less on a plane.
Right?
Seriously.
You know what, Derek? That's an excellent point. All right. So, although this, I think, seemed pretty fucking obvious, the show creators did go out of their way in this special to point out that Locke is, in fact, methodically destroying every possible escape from the island. I'm not entirely sure why they felt the need to say that, unless they thought some of the viewers were just really, really dense. I don't know.
Such a selfish bastard.
Very dense.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess he is, but he also... He thinks he's got some knowledge about the island and that he knows best. Like Ben.
But why doesn't he, if they were to get rescued, why doesn't he just fucking stay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does he have to screw it for everybody?
I think it's because like the same thing with Ben. Like he knows, like Ben says, because I can't let people leave. Like there's something compelling him. And I'm feeling like whatever Locke is experiencing, he's got that same, whether it's a belief or whether he's been told that or something like that. He certainly has this idea that nobody's supposed to leave.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say to answer your question as well, Chrissy, is because like he has ideas like Ben that it doesn't matter what happens to us or where we end up or if we get to go home. What matters is like protecting the island, and that is his goal. And so he's apparently got the idea that if they were to leave, something bad would happen to the island, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that makes sense. Okay, the next thing that the writers made sure to confirm, which we have talked about many times already, the survivors are not in purgatory. It's not purgatory. That is not the plot of the show. It is not correct. It never was. It never has been. It never will be. It's not fucking purgatory. One interesting thing they did say, though, when saying it's not purgatory, is that they were very specific in telling the viewers that the characters are alive and they are living somewhere in the space-time continuum. Interesting that they would use that phrasing.
Yeah.
Maybe we just wait for season 4 and that'll start to make more sense. They confirmed that the Swan is the most important station on the island. So what do we think that means? Why would it be the most important when it was being watched? Right?
I don't know, but it's like gone now, right?
Well, it had the...
Because it had...
The computer, yeah.
The fail switch or whatever, the electromagnetic thing in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what happened when it went off. Fucked everything up.
Yes, that is true. Well, it fucked everything up or started a chain of events that we are about to watch in the last 3 seasons of this show. Okay, so here's something interesting that the show writers admitted, that the manifestations that we're seeing on the island that are tied to the characters, Yemi, the Black Horse, Christian Shepherd, are all confirmed to be somehow connected to the smoke monster, but they don't tell us anything more. What do you think of that, Derek?
That's wild.
Yeah.
Was that a suspicion that you were having, Derek, that they were somehow connected or no?
No.
No, okay.
That was always my suspicion, was anytime somebody showed up, anytime that something or somebody showed up that wasn't supposed to be there, that it was essentially a manifestation of the monster.
Yeah, so when I was first suspicious of this idea was in the episode where Echo dies. I didn't talk about it at the time because we weren't talking about this connection. I didn't want to fuck it up for Derek. But when he's speaking to his brother and he's saying that he's not going to confess, and then Yemi says, you speak to me as though I am your brother. So that's wait a second, you're not. So what are you? And it's just seconds later that the smoke monster shows up and kills him. And so I thought to myself, excuse me, I'm choking on coffee. I thought to myself, well, that's interesting timing. So maybe they are connected. And that was when I first started thinking about it. But this is when they
kind of did,
confirmed
but the horse and Christian Shepherd, I don't remember the monster showing up there.
Okay, so that's the part that's getting you. Yeah, and I would have to say, I had thought about it strictly with Yemi at the time. But then hearing this, from the show writers was oh, that's interesting. I guess I'm going to have to pay more attention to that.
I think I see a parallel between, the way that the smoke monster or whatever the island interacts with people and the way that, Ben Linus, what he says, I'm going to find what you're emotionally invested in and I'm going to exploit it. That's how the island communicates with people or gets into people's heads or whatever. It finds that thing or those things that stand out to them emotionally. For Jack, it was Christian. For Echo, it was Yemi, and for the horse for Kate. So
right. So are you when you describe that, it sounds like you are equating the monster and the island as the same thing.
Yes. Well, they said, the monster is a security system. I think the monster.
Well, Danielle said that.
Yeah.
The show writers didn't say that, but yeah.
But I think it's sort of the island itself to me feels like it's playing, it's studying us. It's studying everyone that's on the island.
Okay.
And it's doing it in different ways. You think about it with Echo, it uses Yemi because Yemi represents the ideal to which Echo aspires, and he is not. He hasn't actually lived that way. The horse represents, I believe the horse represents freedom, which Kate doesn't have. She's always on the run. She's not actually free. Where Christian Shepherd represents to Jack all he doesn't want to become. So it's, I don't know. It's sort of it sort of encapsulates their desires or fears.
Well, let's talk about a few of the other things that have popped up on the island too. So we have first Yemi and Christian Shepherd, if we know they're connected to the monster, and we also know that their bodies are on the island. The horse, no, wouldn't be. I don't think the Black Horse is somehow dead on the island, but we've also seen Ben's mom, who was dead, but not die,
yeah.
but didn't
died
die
years before. Yeah.
Right, but didn't die on the island. We've seen her, so I wonder, does that mean that she is also connected to the monster, or the island somehow? Is it like that?
I think the island just sort of knows it. The island knows what is inside you, and it can manifest it, basically.
I see. And by the way, I know the answer to all the questions I'm asking. I just want to see what you guys say, because one of you hasn't seen the show, and two of you only remember parts of it. So, all right. So next thing, the show writers confirm that the term magic box is actually a metaphor for the entire island. The island is the box, they say.
So then I guess it is big enough for Ben to imagine himself a new submarine.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next thing, they do admit that Desmond's turning the key in the failsafe under the Swan Station prevented a global catastrophe. There was something real happening there. It was not imagined. And then there's a little bit more to this, but I have read ahead in my outline where I had Derek fill in his questions and theories. So I'm going to wait until you read those, because it has to do with something that you have written down. So we'll come back to that.
Right. I didn't watch this thing here that you were talking about. The
right, and
lost
you didn't,
the answers.
Yeah, and you didn't read what I wrote.
So, right.
Yeah, but we'll come back to Desmond turning the key when we get to your section, Derek. What were you going to say, Christy?
My question about it is, why didn't they just turn the key at the very beginning? Then nobody would have to sit there and press the button every 108 minutes. Well,
because, I mean, they didn't really know what was going to happen when they turned the key. Like, nobody actually knew, and it was the failsafe. It was supposed to be, like, only in case of emergency. Like, they thought they were saving the world. Well, I'm trying to answer this without telling you the real answer.
Okay, well, then don't.
I'm trying to answer.
It's
fine. So let me just say this. You will find out later why Ben and others on the island preferred that the code was entered as opposed to turning the key, because although it did prevent a global catastrophe, there are some yet unknown to you side effects of turning that key, which we will find out in later seasons. Okay. So, the polar bears are now confirmed to be brought to the island by the Dharma Initiative. They later escaped from their cages when they got tired of eating only fish biscuits. I added that last part. But now we know where the polar bears came from. All right. Next up, Benjamin is going to talk to us about our rankings and, like fun stuff about him. So go ahead, Ben.
Well, first, let's recap our top three and bottom three from the first couple seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. So in season 1, third place was Jack with 113 points. Second
That's
place
when he was Dr.
Locke.
Bronze.
Locke, 150 points. And Kate with 169 points.
69.
Oh, it's never not going to be perfect that she won first place because we fucked her like crazy, and her score ended up 169. All right.
For the dregs of season 1, we had Booth with negative 42 points, Ethan with negative 56 points, and Shanna with negative 113 points. Season 2, let's see, third place was Hurley, the mayor of Islandtown, with 95 points. Jack in second place with 107, and
Silver
Mr.
Surgeon
Mr. Echo with 139 points.
He'll live on forever in our hearts.
Yes.
The bottom was Charlie in third with negative 59 points.
He
Mr.
had a bad
Cooper.
year.
He did. Insufferable twat. That season.
Anthony or Mr. Cooper with negative 62 points, and Michael with negative 117 points.
He's my son.
He's my son.
My son.
He lost that season when he started screaming at the waterfall. That was it. It was just God damn it.
So season 3.
End of season 3. Okay.
Things were very, very different. Yeah. We had Juliet in third place with 117 points. Hurley.
Love it.
Surging to 122 points for second place, and Sawyer in first place with 128.
I love that he's in first place.
Oh, it's so great. What a turnaround Sawyer has had. I do want to mention, I didn't put it in the outline here, but I also do want to mention honorable mention for season 3. Charlie surges at the end, ended up in fourth place, almost medaled, and he deserved it, as although he was in our worst in season 2, he goes out like a fucking hero. Trophy.
Yeah.
All right.
And the bottom of the barrel was Anthony Cooper with negative 59 points, Paolo Poopstick with negative 80, and Dead Pants Danny taking the lowest slot with negative 90.
Fuck off, Danny. All right. So you have a few fun special stats for us too, right?
I do. Okay. Yes.
These are all from season 3, though.
I do.
They are. So we have our most fucked. I think it's an obvious winner here is Kate, even though I think we wore her out a little less than we did in season 1. She still was the most railed in this season. But Juliet was very, very close with 51 fuck points.
60 versus 51 points just from fucking. Well, there you go.
That's
funny. All right.
Our most killed should be of no surprise. It was Dead Pants Danny with negative 27, but Mr. Cooper was close with negative 24.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he is a bastard.
Yep.
Our most loved off-island character was Penelope. Penny.
Oh, fuck yeah. Aww. I mean,
with 37
how do you not
points.
Love Penelope Widmore? My God, at the end, in Through the Looking Glass Part 2, and her face pops up, and you're just like, oh my God. Yeah, she's great. Love her.
Our most hated off-island character would have been Mr. Cooper, but for the fact that he was brought to the island, which means that Charles Widmore takes the prize.
Oh, because
father.
half of Cooper's negative points were from on the island.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yep. We had what is our most random fuck trophy? There is none. We didn't actually have a random one this season. Everyone that we fucked was a human. So,
what's that about? No, excuse me, though. No, excuse me, though. You fucked a dead body. So, I mean, it was
still human.
It was human, but it wasn't alive. That's not random. If that's not random, then we have problems.
Whose dead body did I fuck? Oh, that was, what's her name?
You dug up Nikki.
Yeah, but see, that's just stuff that we kind of make up during the episode.
Yeah.
So, like,
all right, okay.
I think we have kind of like tied for 3 for our most random kills. I think we got Horace's haircut.
Okay.
Jack's beard. And the casting director.
Oh, that was for young Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny.
All right.
Our biggest fall from grace, which is the character that was riding high and then ended up falling. We didn't really have any of those this season. Okay. Now, we've had previous seasons where somebody went way up and then went way down. That's a very Sawyer-esque type things to do. But instead, I did the biggest fall from grace. I'm saying basically the characters that were ranking lowest or had the biggest difference in their scores from the different seasons. I'm going to say it's going to be Jack and Kate. Jack only accumulated 37 points this season. In the first season, he had 133, and in the second, he had 107.
Yeah, he started season 3 off in a huge hole, though, because he was such a stalking bastard in the first episode.
But we also have, I think Kate actually probably takes the cake. She ended with 50 points this season, but in the first season, she had 169 points and 80 in the second. So she's just been dropping season over season.
Well, that also shows you how many times she got negative points, because she got 60 from getting fucked, but ended with 50.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Her bratty bullshit did not win us over this year or this season.
But we still liked fucking her. So.
Yeah, sure.
You know. Okay.
And lastly, and this is one I think you guys will be happy to see, our biggest climb toward the top is obviously Charlie.
Yay!
He went early in the season, he had -3 points. That was his trough. He ended up with 90 points. So he definitely had the biggest climb.
I mean, sacrificing yourself,
sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
Did something for him.
I'm gonna cry again. Let's move on. Ben, you were kind enough to put together an aggregate of the top 5 characters after all 3 seasons. We do like to start over on our power rankings because the cast changes so often, but just for shits and giggles, we are keeping an aggregate score. So Ben, can you start with the worst? Give us the bottom 5 from number 5 to number 1, the worst.
The worst, well, starting with number 5 is Deadpants Danny. Racked up all those points just in this season.
In one season.
-90.
Wow.
Which is impressive because Mr. Cooper is next with -91.
And he's been in every season.
He's been in every season. Ethan, who's shown up in every season with -119 points.
Wow, we hate him.
Shannon with -122. And the bottom is still Michael with -154 points.
Wow.
I mean, he sold
really
everybody out so that he could get off the fucking island.
Yeah.
I wonder what'll happen if and when we see him again. Cough season 4.
No, he's on heading 325. He's gone.
He's gone.
You think so? Okay. All right.
I don't know because Walt returned all of a sudden. So
okay.
I think that was the island as well.
The island, yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
The version of Walt.
How about the top 5 characters after all 3 seasons?
Yep. Yeah. So this one was there's some surprises here. The first surprise would be in 5th place, Sun.
Wow.
With 192 points.
Slow and steady Sun.
Yeah.
She rarely wins as at the top, but she just ends up in there a lot.
Yeah. She never gets negative points.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
What it is.
Always someone's always going to nail her at least once every couple of episodes. She has her strong episodes. She never does anything really wrong, so she never loses points. So she's slow and steady wins the race, or 5th place at least.
I mean, there was the whole having an affair thing, but
Yeah. In 4th place, we have Locke with 220 points. In 3rd place, Jack with 277.
Oh, he's Dr. Bronze again.
Dr. Bronze. In 2nd place, Kate with 299. And in 1st place, this was a surprise, Hurley, the mayor of Islandtown, with 322 points.
You go, Mayor.
Yeah, Hurley.
Hurley.
Fucking love it. I love that he's the number 1 character.
He's another character that never gets negative points.
Gets negatives, yeah. I mean,
honestly, I'm already mad enough about Christy and the Ben situation. If somebody starts giving Hurley negative points, you're off the podcast. Just get the fuck out of here. Because that's insane. All right. So thank you, Ben. I appreciate you putting all of that together. And please, for the love of God, can we have orgies in season 4? You just put it in the spreadsheet.
Oh, in the spreadsheet. Oh, I were like, sure. All
right, Christy, you did something super special for us today. Would you like to tell us about it?
Sure. So during the original hiatus between seasons 3 and 4, something called Lost Missing Pieces was released. It was a series of 13 webisodes. Anywhere from 1 minute to 4 minutes long. It was produced with the same cast and crew as the television series. So the stories are considered canon, and they are as follows.
Okay, so you're going to tell us the 13 episodes and what, a synopsis of what happened?
Yes, just real quick little bits about each one.
Cool. All right.
So the first one was called The Watch. Years before the crash, on the day before Jack's wedding with Sarah, Jack's father, Christian, apologizes to Jack for not having been as good a father as he could have been. Christian gives Jack a watch that had been passed down to him by his father. It was a really sweet little moment.
I'm sorry that I'm laughing. But you said he gave him a watch, and all I can think is Christopher Walken.
Yes, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction,
I
carried this watch up my ass.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yes. I had to wear this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass for 2 years.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's what I thought of too.
Oh my God.
Because it was passed down from his father.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's too much.
We were in that Hanoi pit of hell together.
So this is interesting though, right? Because that tells you that there was a moment that there was some sort of like apology before Christian died, and we didn't know that before. So that's kind of interesting.
True. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. The next one was called The Adventures of Hurley and Frogurt.
Frogurt.
So this was when Hurley was getting ready for his picnic with Libby. So he is confronted by a guy named Neil, who is a frozen yogurt salesman, and they all have nicknamed him Frogurt. Frogurt tells Hurley that he also has a crunch on Libby, and he's waiting for Hurley to
crunch.
Wait,
Is that crunchy frozen yogurt?
Did he bite her?
Oh my gosh, a crush. Okay.
That's amazing.
Yes.
He had a crunch on the. Wait, is that like what Gen Z calls like going down on somebody? Like he had a crunch.
Oh my God.
Oh, better not
I
be
hope
crunchy.
it's not crunchy.
Yeah. Ooh.
I imagine he was like a ghoul, just like digging up her body and eating the corpse.
Oh, Frogurt,
While you're fucking
no.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's after I was done.
Ew.
That'd be crunchy.
The ghoul had a nice cream filling in his meal.
Oh my God, I'm choking on the nastiness. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Frogurt has a crush on Libby, and he's waiting for Hurley's relationship with her to crumble. Frogurt was a fucking asshole. Yeah, he just made Libby seem like an object instead of a human being. So I wanted to punch him in his face.
So we had crush, crunch, and crumble all going on there.
All there,
Yes.
yep.
So episode number 3 was called King of the Castle. It's sometime between days 75 and 79 when Jack is living with the others in the barracks, and Jack and Ben are playing chess. Ben tells Jack that the island might not let him leave, and if he does, Jack might regret it someday.
Oh, interesting.
He has to go back.
Yeah, we just found out that's true, huh?
Yep.
Right. Number 4 was called The Deal. On day 63, Juliet visits Michael while he was being held captive by the others to discuss the necessity of freeing Walt from the island.
Wow.
Number 5 is called Operation Sleeper. On the night of day 86, Juliet wakes up Jack to confess that she's been working with Ben. So we already know that.
Yeah, we're told about that scene, but then they let us actually see it.
Right.
Okay.
Number 6 is called Room 23. Sometime between the days 45 and 49, Walt is being kept in room 23. And Juliet shows Ben a whole bunch of birds that have died right outside of his room. Very creepy.
Okay, so room 23 is where Carl was getting like re-educated, right? That's the same room.
Same room.
I think so.
Okay.
Like room 101.
I think it is. Keep going, Christy. I will do the Google thing.
Okay, so number 7 is called Arts and Crafts. And I really liked this one.
Okay.
It was day 7, and Arst decides to dissuade some of the crash survivors from following Jack moving into the caves until he hears the monster, and then he suddenly decides to move there himself.
Oh, Arst.
Number 8 is called Buried Secrets. Sometime between day 6 and day 44, while burying her forged license. So Sun is burying her false ID.
Right. Because she had all that stuff to run away.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's discovered by Michael, and they almost kiss.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yes, room 23 is where Carl was held by the others, and it was the Stanley Kubrick scene.
Okay, so number 9 was called Tropical Depression. On day 43, Arst confesses to Michael that he lied about the upcoming monsoon season. And this one was like sad, but Arst really kind of deserved this. He tells Michael that he was in Australia to meet someone who he had found through internet dating, but he was rejected because he fucking catfished her. He put up a different photograph, and then when he showed up, the lady was like, no, you're a liar.
Oh my God, Arst.
Yeah. Number 10 is called Jack Meet Ethan. Ethan, Jack. Sometime during day 4, Ethan approaches Jack and gives him a suitcase full of medical supplies. The two talk about the possibility of Claire having her baby on the island. And Ethan also tells Jack that his wife and baby died in childbirth. I'm not really sure that I believe he had a wife. It's so fucking creepy.
I know, but maybe she was one of the women who died on the island that Juliet couldn't save.
Most likely, yeah.
That might explain partly why he was the one that was with Alpert in her episode, not in Portland.
Yes.
If he's there, like, because he's trying to save his wife. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The next one was one of my favorites at the beginning of it, but by the end, I just felt sad. Number 11 is called Jin Has a Temper Tantrum on the Golf Course.
Yeah, okay.
So it's day 41. He's playing golf with Michael and Hurley, and Jin starts, like, he misses a shot, and he starts shouting and throwing things and yelling. But basically the translation was that, why does this always happen to me? Kind of poor me situation.
Wow. Okay. So he just loses it, like at the moment where Jack falls over the cliff and then just starts laughing. He's just loses his shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 12 is called The Envelope. On day 1, Juliet almost shows Amelia, who is a member of the book club, Ben's x-rays. And Ben's feelings for Juliet are hinted at. So she almost broke HIPAA. So.
Oh, yeah. HIPAA on the island.
I know. And then number 13 was really good. It's called So It Begins. So this is right after the crash on day 1. And what appears to be Christian Shepherd tells Vincent the dog to go and find Jack.
Oh,
so it's the opening scene of the pilot that's replayed, in which Jack opens his eyes and sees Vincent walk by. So,
well, that's interesting, isn't it? So now we know that Christian Shepherd on the island is somehow connected to the smoke monster who sent the dog to wake up Jack. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Christy. And finally, before we get out of here, Derek, I'd like to hear what your biggest questions are after seeing the first 3 seasons, and then wondering if you have any theories.
Yeah, I have a few questions. First one is, why do women who get pregnant on the island die, but wounds heal much faster than off the island?
That's an excellent question. Okay, all right.
And then why does Desmond have the power to tell the future?
Okay. So I know that we have teased you with this, Derek, saying that it is arguably the best episode of the entire series. So stay tuned for some answers to that question in season 4, The Constant. Yay! I'm so excited that's coming up.
It's such a great episode.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I've heard it's voted one of the best of the series.
Yeah, it's a mind blower. All right. What else you got?
So if the freighter wasn't sent by Penny, who sent it?
Oh, well, that is very interesting question. There is an answer to that. You will find out before the show ends. I can't remember if we find that out in season 4 or 5, to be quite honest. So I will just tell you that will be answered. What else?
And my last one is, Jacob appears to be behind why Ben does not want anyone to leave the island or the island to be found. Why?
Oh, now that's like a big old fucking question, which will also unfold as the story goes on. But those are good questions. You're thinking about all the right things, and you're going to love, I hope, the answers that you get to those. All right. So did you put together some theories? I know that I saw one that we're going to go back to, but why don't you give us the first one?
I just have a couple of them. I mean, the first,
right.
when I first started watching this show, and even before I watched it, one of the big theories was they may be in purgatory.
Right.
And it was kind of reinforced when both Naomi and Anthony Cooper said the plane was found at the bottom of the ocean and there were no survivors.
Oh, okay.
But in Through the Looking Glass Part 2, with the flash forwards, we found that at least, Jack and Kate have made it off the island. So that theory got thrown out the window.
Okay. So even though I told you 100 times it wasn't purgatory, you thought it might be the writers kind of fuck with the, watchers at certain times. Like at the end of season 2, we talked about how the book or Gary Troop's name is like an anagram for purgatory. So they're definitely kind of fucking with us. So it's understandable that you would think that. But yeah, you're right. It's not.
And the other one is I think the reason that the freighter found the island was because when Desmond turned the failsafe key, the island was revealed to the outside world.
So I'm just going to flat out tell you, you fucking nailed it. That was one of the things that they admitted, Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof, when they admitted that turning the key did prevent a global disaster. One of those side effects, there are still some other hidden ones, was that it made them visible to the outside world. And that was how we got the guys in the ice hut or whoever they were calling Penny. Yeah. So, yeah.
The Portuguese dudes.
Uh-huh. All right. So that is the full-on end of season 3. I'm really looking forward to us getting started in season 4. Derek, you got some good questions. They're going to be answered. It's an exciting second half of the series, and I'm ready for it. All right. Back to the regular announcements. I would like to thank Dave and Caleb for coming back this season and joining us. We hope to see them in later seasons as well. We're going to be back, with 2 new episodes in 8 weeks on Wednesday, July 19th. I know you're used to the season dropping 3 to start, but the seasons are now shorter, so that's not going to happen. You're going to have to deal with it. On July 19th, you're going to get the season 3 recap and episode 1 of season 4. It is very purposefully titled The Beginning of the End. We get yet another entirely new full cast, learn to love the flash forward, and find out who are the Oceanic 6.
Who?
Plus, of course, like I already said, what is arguably the best episode of the entire show, The Constant. It's the big one, folks. Don't miss our pre-show on Spacebear Media's YouTube channel on Tuesday, July 18th. Have a super duper spring. We're going to see you in summer. Take your allergy medicine, yes. Derek. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you in summer for season 4. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Lost in My 40s is a Spacebear Media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacey J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trimp. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook to interact with your hosts. Plus, follow Spacebear Media on YouTube to watch our episode pre-shows. You can also find us at Spacebear_media on Instagram and Twitter. Or come to our website, spacebearmedia.com.